Hello and welcome to the CAINE Forensics video series. In this video, we will cover how to use the tool Guymager to create forensic images and clones. To image an evidence device, we will need three items. Number one, the evidence. Number two, a staging media. And number three, imaging software. Your evidence should always be preserved by using a write blocker. If you are using a forensic OS like CAINE, it is also going to be using software write blocking, and auto mounting is turned off by default. Your destination media should be forensically prepared. This means it was wiped, partitioned, and formatted. To mount the destination drive, right-click on the mounter icon on the bottom system tray to make any mounted device writable. Then left-click the mounter icon to mount the destination drive. Look for your destination drive, which should say None in brackets in the mount point and status fields. Select the drive partition you want to make the destination and click OK. This should mount the partition and make it writable. To launch Guymager, simply click on the desktop icon. Note that you will need to run Guymager as root because it needs to access the raw devices of your system. Let's go over the menu items. First, under Devices, you have two options. Rescan, which will update the list of devices seen if you connected or disconnected anything new. Add Special Device will read in an image file so that you can convert it to an E01 or AFF image formats. In the Miscellaneous menu, you can check the box to exit after acquisition completed, which will close the window once the acquisition is complete. Debug will bring up a window that gives messages helpful to the developer. In the Help menu, you can get the version of Guymager and Qt. The next menu bar has a button for Rescan. Then we come to the top half of the interface, which shows the block devices connected to your machine. For each device, it lists out the serial number, the Linux device name, the model, the state which will show you a status of that drive as you are either using it as the evidence or the staging media. Next is the size of the device, any hidden areas like the HPA or DCO, bad sector encountered, then the progress, then the average speed, the time remaining, and FIFO queue usage. And these are all stats for the imaging. The bottom half of the interface shows more details about a device selected from the top, which is highlighted in blue. Items of interest are size, sector size, name of the image file on the staging media, and then stats like the speed of the imaging, time started, and hash verifications, etc. When a new device is connected to the system, just hit the Rescan button or F5 so that the list can be refreshed. Select the evidence device you want to image, right-click, and you should see three options: Acquire Image, Clone Device, and then Info. The Acquire Image option will create a bit-for-bit copy of the entire evidence device and produce an image file. Cloning will create a bit-for-bit copy of the entire evidence drive to another drive, overwriting whatever was on that destination. Info will run the smart controller and HD parm commands to give you information of your device, including make, model, serial number, security status, etc. Let's acquire an image of the evidence. The pop-up will ask for an output file format. You can choose a RAW format, commonly known as a DD format, or you can choose the expert witness format, commonly known as the E01 image. If you choose RAW, your option is to split the image file into smaller files. 2047 megabytes is the default. This is because there is a file size limit of 2047 MB on certain common file systems. If you choose not to split the images, make sure your destination drive's file system has enough space and is capable of large files, as the resulting image file could be in the multiple terabyte range. If you choose the expert witness format, you can fill in the optional fields for a case number, evidence number, examiner name, description, and any notes. In this case, the serial number is automatically filled in. EWF is generally preferred as it can be compressed and the metadata and hashes contained within the E01 image. This makes it easier to verify the image as it is copied or moved. The next thing is to decide on the destination media. Select a folder on the destination media to write to. Give it a name for the image. I like to use the unique evidence number. And give a name for the info file, which is basically the imaging log. Leaving the default, which is the same name of the image, is a good idea because if you have more than one image in a destination folder, you can easily see which info file goes with which image. The third section of the pop-up is hashes. You can select MD5, SHA-1, SHA-256. This will depend on the policy of your lab. You can choose to reread the source to make sure that the source didn't change. Again, follow the policy for your lab. The last checkbox is if you want to verify the image after acquisition. This is usually a good idea because you want to make sure that the destination drive doesn't have any bad sectors which will result in a corrupt image. The last thing you can decide on is a duplicate image. This allows you to create 2 copies of the image at the same time. Some labs use this to create an archive copy and a working copy. Once again, check with your lab's standard operating procedures and quality assurance manuals. When you are ready to roll the dice, hit the start button and off we go. While the imaging is happening, you can see the state field change from idle to running. You will see a progress bar showing the percentage of the imaging process, and you will also see the time remaining estimate. You may want to pay attention to the speed. 27 megabytes per second is fine for USB 2, but you should see up to 300 something megabytes per second for imaging across USB 3.1. When the imaging is done, look at the info file for errors. Make sure that the hashes match if you chose to verify. To acquire a raw image of the evidence, right-click on the evidence drive. Choose Acquire Image from the menu. The pop-up will ask for an output file format. Choose the Linux DD raw image file. Next, let's uncheck the option to split the image file, which means we will end up with one giant image file. For the destination image directory, we will choose the same folder we chose for the last example. For the image name, I'm going to use the evidence number and add the word raw and leave the name of the info file as the default. Select the hashes you want generated, and we're not going to reread the source, and we want to verify the image. We are also not going to create a duplicate image. When you are ready, hit start and let her rip. When imaging is done, check the info file for errors. Make sure that the hashes match if you chose to verify. Notice the size of the resulting image file is the same as the size of the evidence media. In this case, it was 16 gigs. There are instances where you want to clone a drive instead of making an image of the drive. An example would be for a digital video recorder, a DVR, where you want to preserve the original drive and put a clone into the DVR and then read off that clone. Another usage of a clone is if you are going to upgrade your drive from a spindle drive to an SSD or replacing a failing drive. Cloning will get you up and running much faster because cloning creates a bootable copy instead of an image file. In the pop-up that appears when you select Clone, you need to select a destination drive. Make sure the drive is not mounted. You also need to select a location to put the resulting info file. Make sure that it is not on the same destination drive, as the destination is going to be a clone of the evidence. You also need to use the unblock program to make sure the destination drive is writable. When imaging is done, look at the info file and check for errors, and make sure that the hashes match if you choose to verify. Alright, so that brings us to the end of this video, where we learned how to use the Guymager tool to create forensic images and clones. Hope you enjoyed it, and if so, click on the thumbs up icon to like this video. Please hit the subscribe button to get notified when the next video comes out. Also, please leave me messages in the comment section below so I know what you liked and didn't like, or what you may want to see in future videos. See you next time!